Welcome back to the channel, everybody. On this Thursday evening here in Switzerland, it's been a heck of a week for me. I spent 10 days hiking and camping, and which was beautiful. It was really wonderful. A couple of bad days of weather at the very end, but the rest was really nice, and I really enjoyed myself with that part. A bit stressful when it came to dealing with the young man. Because just a few little things, little ups and downs, but in the end, I stayed calm. I don't get angry. I don't get angry at that kind of stuff. I just sort of deal with the situation, and it turned out all right. But what I'm here to talk to you about tonight is some of the gear I used and how it worked for me. In the very beginning, I planned to do a 4 to 5 day hike supporting myself and we were using dehydrated rations, and we were planning for 2 dehydrated rations per day with breakfast bars. It had been a low calorie diet, but the idea was to sort of it wasn't so much for, it was also to conserve weight, but also it's more like for the young man actually. He was 17 years old, and sort of to put him into like a little bit of a position where he's tired and fatigued, worn out every day. But it didn't work out after the first night. But so I began by going to go with my tarp, my Australian Army tarp, and I used my 60-liter Granite gear bag, ultra lightweight bag, which is really a good backpack. I'm really happy about that. I had that. I had my sleeping bag, my U.S. Army, the summer weight green mummy bag, and I had that along with a Tyvex sheet and an air mattress, which a lightweight, ultra lightweight air mattress. Then I had a duty bag which had extra pair of underwear. I was carrying 2 extra pairs of socks, a t-shirt, and a Patagonia insulated pullover jacket that I love, by the way. It does really well. And then on top of that, we had the food, and what I was carrying for myself was enough food for 4 days. Plus, I carried with me Cliff Bars, enough for 1 or 2 a day. And then I carried a Sawyer mini water filter. I had also my fire kit with me, headlamp, spare batteries, first aid kit, maps, compass, and gloves. And I was going to carry with me, and I did the very first day, Nalgene water bottle. And then I also had my Jetboil. It's the I don't know if it's called a sumo or what it is, but it's a little bit fatter one. It can put 500 or 600 milliliters of water in it to boil up, and it boils very quickly with the spare gas cartridge. Usually a full gas cartridge is good for about 12 to use it for, I think, about 12 times because it boils up very quickly. Anyway, so that's what I carried with me, and maybe a few other little small items. I did carry a little journal with me, and then I wore shorts. I have some HELIKON-TEX stretch shorts. I use Under Armour underwear. I had a HELIKON-TEX pullover t-shirt, which I sort of liked and sort of didn't like, but we'll talk about that more. I was using Smartwool socks. I had 3 pairs of Smartwool socks, 2 in my bag and 1 on my feet. And I wore my Sportiva lightweight. They don't make them anymore, but they're hiking shoes, and they are really good. And I carried a ball cap with me, a Patagonia ball cap, and I also had my North Face. I think it's a Ventex breathable rain jacket, lightweight, very compact. And I wore a watch, and yeah. So we got going the first day. It was tough on me. I hadn't been doing any of that kind of heavy hiking in a while. It's something I got to continue doing, get myself in better shape. I need to lose some weight too. But we only did about a mile the first day because it was straight up, and then there was a plateau up there. We got there, and then we camped out, and we started late. Is the reason why we didn't really get there until like 6:30, and then by the time we got to where we were at, it was already getting dark. So we went ahead and I put him in his tent. But what I did though is I just laid my Ventex out, my Tyvex out. I threw my sleeping mat on it, or my air mattress on it, and my sleeping bag, and I just slept out like that, you know. And there was 2 little drops of rain on my head that night, but nothing more than that. I mean, I slept really, really well. I mean, I could have slept a lot better. I was very comfortable though, and I was warm. So, but of all that stuff I use, I'm gonna talk about a few things. I also, you know, that was day one. Things changed because of the situation, and so we went more to a base camp. But the problem with the base camp, it wasn't a permanent base camp. It's one we had to set up and take down every day. So what I ended up doing is using my Hilliberg tent, my one-man Hilliberg tent, which is not a freestanding version. I have 2 of them. I have a freestanding one, and I have one you have to sort of you have to tent peg it. And then I use for a day pack my Berghaus Monroe pack, which is a 25-30 liter pack, and I love that pack. It's a really good pack, and it did just as well now as it has for 15 years, and I really like that pack a lot. One thing I did do though to cut down on weight is we were being supplied. I was in a situation where I had a logistics behind me that supplied me with food and water, and so I had about I think I had 14 liters of half-liter Evian bottles. And so what I was doing is just using those every day instead of using my Nalgene. I like the Nalgene, but I don't like it. I mean, I think that if you're going to have some weight behind you, and I think I'd rather have a titanium bottle that I could put on the fire to boil water if I need to. And so I'm thinking I'm going to stop using Nalgene bottles. And if I need a water bottle, I just throw a regular Evian bottle in there, or a water bottle in there, because that you buy in the store. Because it's just much easier. I'd rather have a wider mouth bottle because you tend to drink more and it's easier to filter water into it. But yeah, that first night though, the first morning though, what I did do is because I'd planned on refilling ourselves by water points and filtering water. So I had this brand new Sawyer Mini I had with me, and that morning, you know, we had a beautiful creek there that we were near, and the water was really nice and cold, and I filtered water from it, but it's so complicated with that system. The bottle is too small. That you put water into, it just takes forever. I found. I have seen where videos where people were using a collapsible bag that they fill with water, and then they sort of roll it down, and what they do at the bottom, it has the connection they can screw the Sawyer into over their bottle and just force the water through that way. I think that would be a lot better way of doing it, but I really, really miss my little MSR. I miss this a lot. It's so much easier to use, and yeah, it is heavier than my Sawyer kit, a lot heavier, but I feel like the Sawyer is not a daily use. I think the Sawyer is more of a survival use, something you keep on you keep in your gear, and if you need it, it's there. I would rather have something to the pump that's a bit faster. Now, I do have some more testing to do. I've only used it once in the wild, and so I do have more testing to do, and I will test it some more, but I got to find a solution for that to get more water at one time, because it probably took me 15 minutes to filter water this way, and I'm used to doing like 2 liters in a minute with the MSR. And you just pull it all out, you fish it in, and you start pumping, and it pumps really well. Okay, and then yeah, so I found it a little bit messy. Plus, I almost got wet while I was doing it, and I didn't like that either. Else, because you're in the water basically in the creek trying to get the water in. But that's my only real negative thing of the whole trip is that, and of course the Nalgene water bottles. But I was pretty happy with everything else. I mean, I spent most of my time in t-shirt and shorts and socks. I did bring my Source sandals with me for like a camp use, which were fantastic. You know, another thing I really was glad that we had were these little tallets that you put inside water. I would take basically the cap off the Evian bottle. and I'd fill it with water, and I would just sort of stick it inside of it, and then I would pour a little bit of water on top of it. It absorbed it all, and it was so refreshing to clean yourself with that. I mean, I took a lot of little baths with that every day. Every morning, what I would do is we'd go and we'd have breakfast, we'd pack up, get to the vehicle because we had to store our stuff in the vehicle where it was secure, and we basically prepare our bag, our day sack. You know, I carried more stuff. He just carried like his journal. He carried a rain jacket, which we had no rain until the very end. He carried a water bottle and some breakfast bars with him, and that's all he really carried. He had almost nothing. He had maybe 2 kilos on him, you know. And I was carrying my bag, but I carried in it for my first aid kit. I also carried my poncho liner with me, my Kifuru poncho liner. I just like it a lot, and I lay it out in the shade and lay on it. You know, it's a really nice thing to lay on when instead of laying directly on the ground, you sort of lay on that. And so I use it for that on our rest stops. You know, we take like a halfway point. We'd always take, you know, find some shade, and he would sit down and smoke. I don't smoke, so I would just basically do that. But I had that with me, first aid kit. I had compass with me, map, and I also I had my phone with me. He didn't have that. My phone, I had brought my charger with me so I could recharge if I needed it. And which I need to upgrade my charger also. It's only a 9,000 amp, and you can get for less, actually a cheaper price, you can get a 24,000 amp version. The newer versions are much better. So I'm going to look at doing that in the near future. And I carried my rain jacket with me just in case, and something to eat, a little something to eat. I didn't eat a whole lot the first days. I just basically spent more time drinking water and stuff. I lost weight the first couple of days, and then of course in the end we were having more barbecues and stuff, so I started to gain more back. But yeah, I mean, we were doing a lot of kilometers every day in the heat, and it was nice. It was nice doing that, you know, and it was up and down hills and stuff. But yeah, my Monroe did a really good job. I mean, it's a lightweight pack. It's very basic. It's a top opening. Very simple backpack, and I was very happy with it. You know, it's a pack I really enjoyed using, actually. Instead of for example, I've got my Camelback here, and my Camelback right here is a really nice day pack, but for me it's more of an urban pack, you know. And I think it would have done really well out there also, but I just prefer to carry my Monroe because I don't like all these zippers. It's basically a top loader, and it has a lid on it. The lid has a small pocket. I can throw stuff in there. I carried, I always carry a basic stuff of my 10 essentials. The 10 essentials are always there. Okay. I was also very happy with my cap. My niece sent it to me. It was a cap from Patagonia, and with a buffalo on it. The only thing negative about it is that the sun just beat the hell out of it. I mean, it lost a lot of the color from the gray because it's a gray color, but it served really well. I mean, if you see, I got some color in my skin. My arms are redder or tanner. You can see where I had my watch at, you know. And but one thing I can say also is that the shoes were fantastic. I brought 2 pairs of shoes with me. I brought the lightweight, summer weight, non waterproof, which I wore 99.9% of the time. I wore only one day, the very end, because of rain, that I wear the waterproof pair from La Sportiva, and they did very well. So they needed a little bit more breaking in, but the other pair, fantastic cushion, the whole works, really good grip on them. I felt very comfortable in them. I did sprain my ankle a little bit one day going down the mountain, and it's always the same way when you're walking the curve. So there's cars come by, you're trying to stay on the curve, and you just sort of turn your ankle, and that's what happened to me. And but I was okay. I mean, I did have some problems also with cramping the first couple of days of hiking. And what I did with that, I bought me a bunch of bananas, ate the bananas, you know, and I forgot my magnesium powders. I usually carry those with me, and I'd forgotten them. So I learned some mistakes. I made some mistakes, and I learned from them. But yeah, everything else worked really well. We did build some fires, and what I'd done, I'd brought a Ziploc bag of charcoal with me and fire lighter. And that was so much better. We did use some of the firewood, but the problem is most of the firewood up there is all. I mean, there's lots of hardwood up there, which you can find. But and when we used that to burn. I didn't use pine or anything like that. But the spruce, it's most spruce up there, and it burns so quickly. But if you want a nice warm fire to cook with very quickly, we made fire. I think we made fire 3 times, and I used the briquettes actually. and all you do is put like 3 or 4 in there, and then it gets it going, and then you put all the other firewood. Actually, the last night we didn't have any briquettes, so we used it, and I built the fire, and it did really well actually without briquettes. So because we did have a couple of times the sport team brought us some pork chops, pork steaks, and our cutlets, and we had those over the grill along with some rice, and that was really good actually. You don't need a whole lot, when you haven't had a whole lot for a while. But yeah, so gear wise, I mean, I'm very happy with the socks I had. Those are very good. They're low quarter socks. I got them from and I wore 2 pair of them brand new. I mean, I never worn them before, and they did really well. I did wear all 3 of them while I was there. And then, like I said, the shoes did really well. The shorts, I wore 1 pair of shorts the whole time I was there until the very end. And it was a brand new pair I just got, a little bit lighter weight. It's really strange. The HELIKON-TEX, they made even lighter their stretch shorts, stretch pants. And so the tissue is really, really good. And I wore those things, and they did a really good job, actually. T-shirt wise, I changed once every 3 days. You're out there in the woods, and sweating, and everybody's sweating. So, but yeah, it went really well. The equipment wise, really well. The only thing, I mean, I did have problems with my glass. You see them sort of crooked. I wore another pair. These are here a little bit, been beat up a little bit while I was out there. But everything else was good. Everything was really good. Yeah. One thing that I brought with me that really came in handy was, and I never got sunburned. I used, I think it was SPF 30, and I used it on my face, neck, and everything, and on my arms and my legs. I never got sunburned. We didn't have a whole lot of problems with bugs, but when we moved down to our second camp, is more in the forest, and so we did have some problems, but only for a short time, like between 5 and 6 o'clock at night, the mosquitoes came out. And after that, they went away, but we did have some breeze is why. And we had this really good spray that was provided for us. Now, I have another product. I'm going to grab it real quick. It's called Nordic Summer, and this is comes in like a little tin, and this stuff is really good. It stinks though. It stinks. It doesn't stink. It smells very strong, but it smells like burnt wood. Actually, it smells like you've been around a fire. And it's called Wilma, Ian Wilma, this Nordic Summer, and I'll show it to you. What it looks like here. And it's like a gel, like a paste. Problem is always getting it open. I have a problem getting this one open. I have 2 of them. One opens up easy, another one doesn't, and I don't ever know which one it is. But this one, oh, here we go. You can see it. See that? And it comes off very dark on your skin, but you rub it in, and this stuff works, man. It's very strong. It's very, very strong, but you know what? It keeps everything away from you, including your neighbors, But this, I got 2 of these tins, and I would put this on me also, and it worked fantastic against mosquitoes. And we had a spray that smelled really lovely. Sort of reminded me of Skin So Soft, actually. And it worked very well, and kept the mosquitoes off. But you had to constantly spray yourself because they were pretty rampant. But this right here, I think this right here worked a lot better. I didn't have any problems. He was having more problems with bugs than I was, but that's because he wasn't used to being in the outdoors. Me, I was more used to it. Didn't have that problem. But I think only twice did I put my insulated jacket on, and he seemed to live in his every day. So, but then again, he came from Spain, so much warmer. I'm more used to the climate here. I did wear the t-shirts I wore were not cotton. I wore synthetic t-shirts. I was thinking about going with wool, lightweight wool, but in the end, I'm just not. I like the synthetic a little bit better because it just seemed to. Although they do start smelling after a couple of days, they do dry very quickly. And I had a couple of Under Armour ones, and I had the one from HELIKON-TEX. But yeah. So that stuff worked. The gear worked. Things I was missing because we were set up more, and lessons learned, I would say, is that I could go with a bigger tent because I didn't have to carry it around. So I will do that next time. Maybe even carry a bigger mattress with me, so I can just sort of keep rolled up inside the truck, and then I can, which I do when I travel with my son. We go road trips and hiking, camping. I carry a bigger tent. And with a mattress, a regular mattress, that's stored on the floor, and I put and I let it air out. I pick it up and actually sideways let it air out every night also, And then table and chairs. You know, that's another thing that I have it. I should have brought it. I did get it later on our second camp, which I should have got it before our first camp. Just didn't think about it. And I will definitely carry next time a huge bag of charcoal, because I enjoy cooking on the fire also, and it gives a nice ambiance actually, and just, you know, yeah, sure, it's very quick to you know, to use the Jetboil. The Jetboil worked really well, except the automatic lighter wasn't working, so we had to use a lighter to get it going. But that was no big deal. It was no big problem, you know. Although I had maps, it wasn't for this area, so that was another problem I had. So I need to get myself some maps. For what I did do, and I found an application, and it's actually through Swiss Topo Maps, and I have it on my phone now. So I have the application on my phone, so I actually have topographic maps on my phone, and it shows your location and stuff. So it's actually quite. You feel like you're cheating when you're so used to having to live from a map. When I was in the military, and you had to know where you're at, you know, and you're shaking a tree. Anyway, it's a joke. But anyway, yeah. But that's the positives and negatives I could think of right now. Yeah, I could have, you know, I could do a few more other things in the future. What I'm going to do next time, which hopefully will be next 3 to 4 weeks. If not more, I'll go out with the next young man, and hopefully be able to help him also. But this young man seemed to be a lot better before we left, and you know, when he left, I got him on the plane 2 days ago, and I wanted him back just my second day back. Yeah. Anyway, it was a good trip. I enjoyed it myself. But you know, the thing is that the idea of this trip was to put the young man in his own head. You know, he didn't have any kind of communication. He didn't even have a watch. Speaking of watches, I had my Tissot with me, and I get back, and it was like I get back from bringing him to the airport. I get back home, and I'd taken a shower, and I had rested a little bit, and I need to go and do a few things. So I quickly, was putting my watch on, and it fell out of my hand, hit the floor, and the back came off of it. Anyway, so I had to bring that in yesterday. It's going to be 3 or 4 weeks without my Tissot watch, so I'm using my backup, which is my Tracer watch. I had to go put the battery in it today, so because the battery was dead, I hadn't used it in such a long time. Because the Tissot's been really good. I've had it since 2017. Fantastic watch, really nice watch. And what I like about it the most is that I can see the hands and the numbers without my glasses on, and that's getting worse and worse. Needing my glasses, I see very well, like this right here. With these glasses, my reading glasses. These are powerful reading glasses, though. I'm not completely blind, but yeah. And yeah, there's a few things I would, you know, something I could have brought I didn't bring, which is like stuff like olive oil, little bottles of olive oil, and that kind of stuff. Now we were supplied. I mean, our supply, our logistics behind us. He would show up with steak, with, like I said, pork loins with rice that was already cooked. He'd show up with bread and honey and that kind of stuff. But I would bring him an ice cooler with me next time, just to sort of protect some things and keep things a little bit organized. That I would do next time. And I brought too many clothes, I guess, with me. I brought too many clothes. I wouldn't need, you know, a pair of shorts and a pair of pants is enough. And I slept in my underwear, so I didn't need to really, I mean, I didn't really need to do more than that. I would bring maybe a couple extra pairs of socks, and for the future, and yeah. But besides that, everything else was pretty good. You know, had a great time, like I said, and we were able to see some beautiful sights. And I'll post some pictures, a picture collage, and some what I can post. I won't post any pictures of the young man. But I will post pictures of myself and some of the scenery from that place. Fantastic. I mean, it was just wonderful. But you're still in an urban setting. You know, you see life. It's not like when you go up into the Alps and you're really away from everything. You know, now there are some instances we were a little bit further back on the hiking trails. You know, that you didn't see anybody, but it was very uncommon. You know, you constantly saw something that was man-made or. And I like being able to get out and seeing and just having no contact whatsoever with other people. I can be able to get out and just enjoy nature. And what was really cool is that for some reason this past weekend, everybody was out in the mountains and setting up tents on top of mountains, and I was seeing their pictures on Instagram and on Facebook, and it was wonderful. I felt like I was not alone. So anyway, that's all I have for now. I've got some work to do reorganizing myself a bit now. One thing I do is I get home, I've cleaned everything, I've let everything air out, and then I start getting ready for the next time. You know, I keep all my stuff together, and what works I take, what doesn't work I don't take. Now, I brought my some bushcraft stuff with me. Didn't need it whatsoever. This wasn't a bushcraft thing. I had my nice fixed blade knife. Did not need it. My really nice 35-year-old Victorinox Swiss knife. It worked fantastic. I did bring my small, I think it's a Skelly Tools one. I can't remember which one it is. It's from Leatherman. I did have that with me, and just in case, I always carry a little bit of backup. And I didn't have it in my pocket. It was available in my truck. I keep my stuff so organized, so if I come back, I did bring an axe with me and my saw. I wasn't humping that around. It was more as a camp item at the base camp stuff. So what I will do is next time is I'll actually prepare better for the base camp, which I didn't do this time. I was set up initially to do 4 to 5 days of hiking on the Crête de Jura, on top of the Jura, and it just got changed. It got changed because the young man refused to go. So you can't do anything about that. And it was too late for me to suddenly change everything. So I had to really be prepared for next. I'll be better prepared next time. But next time what we'll do is we're going to actually go and have a fixed camp. We're going to set it up and hopefully be able to leave the vehicle and our tent set up, and then go out and hike every day. Just do day hikes, and that's the plan in the future and the next time. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and getting myself some good topographic maps of there. I got to get that also done. But anyway, had a great time, and like I said, everything did work except, like I said, I wasn't happy with a few little small items, but yeah, everything did work. I would love to be able to do this as a long range hike also. It's always a better way of testing it. Now, I use the marching batons, the sticks, you know. Those things are fantastic. I'm glad I had them. They saved me a lot. I do have some more stories I want to bring to you. You know, we found like a little town of Fontaine, and in the middle or fountains, actually. And we'd gone down from there into a town called Champagne. And we went to a grocery store there and got some sandwich meat and some cheese and some bread, a baguette, and a couple of soft drinks. And we sat on the bench and we did that. Then there was a public toilet there, so able to hit the public toilet, which is nice and clean. This is Switzerland. And on the way back up, we got to that town. And on the way into town, there's like a little fresh river coming down. It's basically coming off the fountains. Actually, it's non-potable water, potable water. You can't drink it. But you could filter it. But I stopped out there and just took my shoes and socks off and put my feet in the water. And I remember I had sprained my ankle going down, so this was really refreshing. And one thing I realized is that those lightweight shoes I have, they allow all the dust and dirt to get through. So my feet were filthy. So I basically just put my feet in the water, dusted off my shoes and my socks, and cleaned my face, got my hair wet, this kind of stuff. And then we went up to town, and then he was sort of reluctant to do that, but he did do it. We got uptown though, and there's the fountains there, so he was actually washing, putting water on his hair and that kind of stuff. And a lady that was there, she actually turned to be Belgium. Good-looking lady, very, very attractive lady, by the way. Comes out of her house. She's older than me. She told me she was 59 years old. Beautiful woman, by the way. Comes out, and she was actually there already. And she's, don't drink the water. You can't drink the water. And we're like, well, we weren't drinking the water. But she goes, but if you want water, I can give you water. So I said, hey, I want some water. Then good. So she refilled our water bottles, which is really nice. And then she realized I was an American. And then she saw a little bit of my tattoo here, of the airborne tattoo. And then she said, oh, come in my garage. I'm going to show you something my husband has. Now, you sort of got a good-looking woman telling you that. It sort of throws you off a little bit. But I went in and not afraid. But she showed me the most beautiful revamped Willys Jeep from 1942. It was fantastic. Her husband had worked on it for many years and got it all, and he goes to all these events with it. Now, this is very typical Belgium also. They're both Belgium, and it's a very typical thing to Belgium. They all have U.S. military hardware at the house. It's really strange. When you go there, everybody's got a Jeep. Everybody's got like a half track or something. It's really crazy. And I found this out when my son and I were there 3 years ago, which is 3 years ago now, actually, this week. So, but... yeah, it was a really nice surprise, and and we weren't actually, in the long run, we weren't very far from that village, only 23-minute march, a walk away from it in our second camp. But anyway, it was a great surprise, and to see that Jeep, and of course someone being very friendly. So it's, I'll tell you another quick story. The day before, we'd hiked down to another village, and I'm having a hard time remembering the name of it, but they had paragliders that were going to have a little restaurant there, and over $4 for a Coke, a small Coke. So, and then I asked the lady at the restaurant, I said, hey, I said, do you guys make sandwiches? She's just, look at the menu, really rude, very typical touristic type of place, very rude. Yeah, this lady's she's going to get hammered for all this. Most rude place, and she's well known for it also, which is sad. A lot of people told me they know about this place, and they don't recommend it to anybody. But yeah, we sat there and we watched a couple of guys getting ready. So we had some really nice little pleasant things happen, and of course, sometimes you have some crazy things that happen. But all in all, it turned out pretty good, and it's all learning lessons for myself and for the young man. But yeah, next time, a little better planning, preparation, and but all in all, it was a really good exercise, really good trip, and good experience, and I learned a lot about myself also. Like I said, you're always in your head, and made some realizations myself. I'm crazy. Anyway, no. But yeah, I enjoyed myself. But anyway, listen, I want to thank you all for coming to my channel and watch my videos. I'm sorry I haven't been around for the past 2 weeks, but I will keep talking, keep making more videos, and I want to thank you all for your support. Those of you, there's 62 of you who subscribed to my channel. I'm proud that you could ever imagine for 62 people who would do that, and I really am touched by that. And I appreciate also if you'd partage, if you would show other people my channel, get it out there on Facebook and stuff, get my videos out there. Reason why is because I want to see if I can help one person. Like I said, I've done something, and a lot of you probably don't need help, but there's maybe that one person out there who maybe watch a video and that helps them a lot. But if you are interested in this program that I'm working with, it's called Esteban, and I will get you guys. I'll in the link below. I'll get you guys a link. And you can see who the gentleman is who runs this. He's a very, very famous guy, actually, here in France and here. He was on the French survival game show. Basically, it's a survival show called Koh-Lanta, and he is a former French legionnaire also. Did that he was a paratrooper in the French Legionnaire in Corsica with the 2nd Rep, and he's got an interesting story, and you can see that on his website. He's got lots of videos on there also. And we do team building. We do this right here, this things. He actually works for the state, and he does this for the state, but he does it for young men who are in criminal trouble. Not murder, this kind of stuff. We're talking about boys who just have some problems, and they've been arrested or they've been dealt with by the criminal justice system. And so far, it's been 100% successful. And I did 10 days with this young man. He does 20 to 30 days with some characters he brings out there. And they're much more hardcore. But anyway, listen, I want to thank you again and ask you to please subscribe, share my channel, give it a thumbs up, and please leave comments. I look forward to answering any comments. And if you have any questions about this program, if you're in a situation where you as a parent are interested, we do this program all year long, okay? Even in the dead of winter, we do this program. And I'm telling you right now, it's a good program. Now, like I said, we don't always find out the problem is the youth. Sometimes it's education they get from home, and so it's not always what you might expect. But the idea of this is to help that young man and young women too. I mean, we have female ladies who do the same program, bring young ladies out, and we also do a few other programs also. So like I said, I'll put this in the link down below, and you guys can check it out and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you again. I hope you all have a great weekend. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be dead sick if I don't fall dead myself. I'm getting my the coronavirus shot. It's basically mandatory now here. I don't have a choice because of my work, because of things I do. I have to take the shot. I don't want to, but this is the way it is. So if I'm not here anymore, I want to thank you again. If you don't hear from me ever again, I want to thank you again. And we'll see. But take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. God bless you. And talk to you soon. Goodbye.